10th students of private schools of Amritsar. Now both are same. They are not different. Because when you say modes of teaching, you can have 2 modes of teaching or you can have 3 modes of teaching, no problem at all. So therefore you can write a title. If you want to use the word comparison, you can use, but even without using is perfectly correct. Nothing wrong in that, because that will be from the objectives. So when we come to the objective, then you will know. Now, if someone wants to do survey, then my dear friend, this is not a survey study. This is not a survey study. If you want to do survey, then survey title will be something like this. A study of comparison of anxiety of male, anxiety of class 12th students of government schools and public schools of Amritsar. If you want to have something like this, then naturally this is the title of a survey research where you want to compare. But my dear friends, the important is that now here you cannot take any other objective. Only the objective will be to compare mean scores of anxiety of government of students of government schools and private and public schools. Now you cannot write any other. Now if you want to write something like this, let us see. If you want to write another one like this, that to compare mean scores of anxiety of male students of government schools and public schools, you may write something like this. Another you can write of female students of government schools and public schools. You may write something like of urban students. You may write something like of rural students So like this, if you want, you can write the objectives. If you want to have a title, something like this, then these can be the objectives, then you can think of. But every time you have to take the government as well as the public schools. This is important. You cannot take that, you cannot have something like this. To compare mean scores of anxiety of male and female students of government schools. Now this objective you cannot write. The one which I have put with the red mark, you cannot have this as your objective. Why? Because in that title, you have written the comparison and you are comparing the government schools and the private school. Now, if you want to have something like this, or you can write something like this. A comparative study of anxiety, that also you can write, no problem. If you want to have a title like this, a comparative study of anxiety of class 12th male and female students of public schools of Amritsar, then every time you have to take the male and the female in the objective. Harpreet Kaur, have you understood, or should I go ahead with the objectives of this? Should I write objective or no need? Okay. So this is how, if you have to do a survey research and you want to write in the title the comparative word, then you can write, no problem at all. Okay, any other participant like to ask any other question? Okay, now we proceed further. Let us see the question and the answer. Answer of this question: for a variable, what should be the minimum value of SD? Rupali, think again. Think again. Any other participant like to answer this question? Any other participant like to answer this question? For a variable, what should be the minimum value of the standard deviation? Okay, you think about it. I proceed further. Now, my dear friends, yesterday I wrote the title and the its objectives. And the title was for qualitative research. And the objectives were for qualitative research. Now, do you want me to give you more example of the title of the qualitative research as well as objectives or no? Or should I go to quantitative now? I'm waiting for your response. Should I proceed with the quantitative or do you want me to give you more example of qualitative? Nayak ji, the content analysis is the part of data analysis. It is not the part of the title or it is not the part of the objective. I cannot tell you the content analysis, how it is to be done. It is not possible. Now, if you want one more title of the, then you give me the variable. You give me the name of the variable for which you will have a qualitative data and I will write the title. So give me the name of the variable, whatever you like, no problem at all. हाँ सीमा जी, give me variable name whose data will be the qualitative. Lokesh, attitude towards online will not be qualitative, it is quantitative. No, let me have another. I'll give you. I'm giving you the title. A study of I'm just thinking, I'm giving you method I have already given. So I don't want to repeat that. Yoga, mental health and academic achievement. Ram Babu, the yoga is the experimental one and mental health and academic, all these are quantitative. Lokesh, stress is quantitative. Discourse analysis is the data analysis. Navita, it is data analysis. I have nothing to do with that. So, okay, let us say a study of assignments science assignment of class 10 students of government schools of Delhi. Now here it is the science assignment, or if you want, you can say if you want, you can write home, otherwise you can write science assignment. So science assignments will be, you will get the type of the information will be qualitative. What type of science assignments are given? So you can have objectives. You can have objective something like this. To compare science home assignments given by male and female teachers. To compare science class assignments given by male and female teachers. You can have to compare science home assignments given by male and female teachers belonging to or working in rural schools. Another can be of teachers working in urban schools. Another you can say science class assignments given by male teachers, male and female teachers working in urban schools. class assignment given by male and female teachers working in rural schools. So like this, if you like, you can write more objectives from this particular title. Do you want me to give you another example of a title and the objective of qualitative research, or is it enough? It's enough. Okay. Okay. All right. Now I'm going for, if you have a variable whose data is in quantitative form, and if you have the data in the quantitative form, then how exactly you will be writing the objectives for quantitative one. So now I am going ahead with the quantitative one, that if you have a quantitative data, and if you want to write objectives, then you must know two important things. That quantitative data will be analyzed with the help of statistical techniques. And the statistical techniques can only do two things. They cannot do more than two. That if you have a quantitative data, then either you can compare them, or you can study the relationship. You cannot do the third thing. So if you have a quantitative data, either you can compare or you can study the relationship. Comparison is a general word. Relationship is a general word. For relationship, the technical word is correlation. Is the one technical word, another is association. These are the two technical words which people use all over the world whenever they are doing the study where they are trying to understand the relationship between the variables. Now, if you want to compare, then the statisticians have given us the method of comparison, and that is on the basis of central tendencies. And now you know, in the central tendency, one is called mean, another is called median, and another is called mode. Okay. Now, when you compare, do you compare on the basis of mean, or on the basis of median, or on the basis of mode? On what basis do you compare? All right. But why on the basis of mean? Why can't we compare on the basis of mode or median? Why we compare on the basis of mode? Why we compare always on the basis of mean, but not median, but not mode? Why average? Harpreet Kaur, why average? No, Ram Babu, why it's not for journalization? Yes, Francis, your answer is all right. Let me tell you, dear friends. See, whenever you have, let us say, I give you some number and I am saying like this, 8, 5, 10, 8, 11. Suppose I have like this numbers. Now, in this particular case, if I just want to find out the mode, then mode is equal to 8. Why? Because mode means maximum occurrence. Now here, the 8 occurs twice, 5 occurs 1, 10 occurs 1, 11 occurs 1. So here mode is equal to 8. And when we computed the mode, we did not use the entire collected data. So only a part of the data is used. So you do not use the complete data. Now, Nayak ji, if you want to find out that which newspaper is read by majority of the people, then you will be calculating the mode. They will find out whether they are reading the Hindustan Times, or they are reading Times of India, or they are reading Now Bharat, or they are reading some other newspaper. So if you are interested in that, then you can find out. You can also find out, then mode you will find out, because maximum people are using. So in the mode, you are not using the entire collected data. Now, if I have to find out median, then what I will do is, I will arrange it in one particular order. I may arrange it in the ascending order. And if this is the ascending order, then the median is equal to 8. So therefore, here, so median is equal to 8. And when I say median is equal to 8, then here also I have not used the entire collected data. So in the mode, entire data are not used. In median also, you do not use entire data. But if you have to calculate mean, then in the mean, you are using the entire collected data. So you are adding everything and then you are dividing it by the total number. So therefore, here you are using the entire collected data. So that is why we always compare on the basis of mean. We do not compare on the basis of median. We do not compare on the basis of mode. All statistical techniques which have been developed by the statisticians is only for comparison of the mean. So that's what exactly has to be done. And now there are different statistical techniques available for comparison of mean. One is called t-test. Another is called correlated t-test. Another is called one-way ANOVA. Another is called two-way ANOVA. Another is called three-way ANOVA. Another is called one-way ANCOVA. Another is called two-way ANCOVA. Another is called three-way ANCOVA. Another is called trend analysis. So like this, there are many statistical techniques which you will be able to use if you want to compare. But if you want to study the relationship, then you have two technical words. One technical word is correlation. Another technical word is association. I hope you know what is association. That if you look to my hair, you will find I have the gray hair. So if there is a person who is coming and talking to you is having a gray hair, then and that person is not known to you. He is asking you some information. So if you look at the hair, you will naturally think that he is aged, old man, because we have associated the gray hair, the color of the hair with the age of the person. This is our understanding only. Otherwise, it has nothing to do. You must have seen many 80 years old people still have the black hair. So having black hair or having the gray hair does not mean that one is old and other is not old. No. So this is association. Another person who doesn't have a gray hair may be old. I have seen the young gentleman of 35 years approximately, and he has gray hair. So if I go by the gray, by the color of the hair, I'll say he's old, but he's not old. Another example of association, that if from a distance, if you find a lady who has put on the Mangal Sutra, then you will immediately think that she is married. But there might be another lady who has not put on the Mangal Sutra. So you cannot say that she is unmarried. No, because in some of the castes or religion, the ladies do not put on the Mangal Sutra. And in some caste, they do put on the Mangal Sutra. So Mangal Sutra, if someone is wearing, yes, it says she is married, but another one who is not wearing the Mangal Sutra does not mean she is not. All these are associations. Each and every society has some of the rules like this. So that is association. The correlation is a concept. I hope you must be knowing the correlation. Say correlation. Co means together. And when you say co, that means there are two people. Now you know very well that when a family wants his son or daughter to marry another, then normally the families, they take the Janam Patri of both the boy and the girl and they give it to the Pandit. And Pandit looks at the Janam Patri of the boy as well as the Janam Patri of the girl. And then he will try to compare. He will try to match. He try to find out commonness. Say he may look at the boy Janam Patri and he says the boy cannot get up before 6 o'clock. The girl doesn't get up before 9 o'clock. So both are not early riser. So let us see this. Okay, the boy does not like the home cooked food. The girl does not know the cooking. And so like this, you'll find the commonness between the boy and the girl. The more the commonness, the better it is. The less the commonness, dangerous it is. And you must have seen that many a times I have many instances where the boy and girl, they got married. On the second day, they decided that we cannot live together. They separated just within a day. So that means, please understand, that means they are not compatible. That is very important. So therefore, the correlation only indicates the commonness. And when you say the commonness, it has to be between two things. It has to be between two variables. And when it is two variables, then you calculate the correlation by R. And you know correlation can be negative and correlation can be positive. But the commonness can never be negative the commonness is always positive. So therefore, to make it positive, we square it. And then we express in terms of percentage. So we multiplied by 100. Therefore, it is percentage of commonness. So you can calculate the percentage of the commonness. And more the percentage of the commonness, the more strong will be the relationship between them. Suppose I take one example. Suppose my correlation value is 0.1. Then can you tell me what will be the commonness, percentage of commonness here? What is the percentage of commonness here? Yes, Lokesh, I have seen yours. Dr. Harpreet, I have seen yours. I'm waiting some more answers if some of the participants can give. Because there are 22 participants. Okay, Nayak ji, I have got your answer. Seema, I have got your answer. Navita, I have got your answer. Snifa, I have got your answer. Okay, so therefore you are right. It is 1%. If suppose the correlation is 0.6, then you know commonness will be 36%. If the correlation value is, let's say, 0.8, then the commonness will be 64%. And if it is 1, then the commonness will be 100%. And if you have the correlation value, let us say 1.1, then the commonness will be 121%. Now, can commonness exceed 100? Can commonness exceed 100? So commonness cannot exceed 100 because the two variables may be alike if they have 100% commonness. So therefore, your value of the correlation can be, so this is not possible. So therefore, your correlation value ranges between -1 and +1. So this is the range. So this is what is a correlation. And there are many methods of computing correlation. So if you want to study the relationship, then there can be a product movement correlation. Then there is a partial correlation. There is a multiple correlation. There is a regression analysis. There is a the canonical correlation. There is factor analysis. There is discriminant analysis. Like this. So there are many statistical techniques which you will be able to use only if you want to compute the relationship. So all your statistical technique, they boil down to only these two classes. One statistical technique for comparison purpose, another statistical technique for studying the relationship. So let us take one title and then I will write the objectives and will try to tell you if this is the wording of the objective, then this is the statistical technique you use. And it is because of this, your wording of the objective must be very, very precise wording. So let me take one objective, one title. So I'm taking one title and I'm taking the quantitative. If you want to give me a variable, you can give me variable for which I will have a quantitative data, and then I can write the title and objectives, no problem. I'm waiting for your answer. Okay. If you want to have a study of life satisfaction of teachers of public of private colleges of Chandigarh. And for life satisfaction, if I have the quantitative data, because I can have a scale, and with the help of that scale, I can have it. Rathinder Kaur, you did not write beta a study. So this is not all right. This title is not all right. Yes, Harpreet Kaur, thank you very much for giving a feedback to Ratinder Kaur. Or if you want to have adjustment because someone wants to have adjustment, then we can say like that. A study of adjustment of teachers of private colleges of Chandigarh. If this is my very simple title, here the variable is adjustment and teachers of private colleges of Chandigarh is my population, and this will be either you can say the quantitative research or you can say it is a survey research. And in survey research, well, it can be, I don't know, I can't say whether correlation, but it is a survey research. Now, if I have objective like this, one objective can be to compare mean scores of adjustment of married and of unmarried teachers. Now, if this is the wording of the objective, then can you tell me which statistical technique do we use? Yes, all of you are correct. It is the t-test. So therefore, if you want to analyze your data with the help of the t-test, then this should be the wording of your objective. Now, if I have something like this, to compare mean scores of adjustment of arts, science, and commerce teachers. Please do not write private college teachers. Just write teachers, because the private college, these teachers have to be from the private colleges. This particular study, your population is teachers of private colleges. So we just have to write teachers. No need of writing private colleges, private colleges, private colleges. No. Now, if this is the one, then here I will be using one-way ANOVA. That is the statistical technique that I will be using. But if I have something like this, to study the influence of, gender, marital or teaching experience, and their interaction on adjustment of teachers. Now, if this is my objective, then here, can any one of you tell me that which statistical technique? Yes, Harpreet Kaur, correct. You are right. So here, since I have the two discontinuous variable, the gender and teaching experience, so this will be the two-way ANOVA. Now, if you want, you can write like this also. You can write like this also, 3A, to compare mean scores of adjustment of male and female teachers. 3B will be to compare mean scores of adjustment of adjustment of teachers having teaching experience up to 5 years and more than 5 years. Then 3C will be to compare mean score of adjustment of male and female teachers having teaching experience up to 5 years and more than 5 years. If you want, you can write only one objective like this, or if you want, you can write 3A, 3B, 3C. But please do not write 3, 4, and 5. If you are writing 3A, 3B, and 3C, you will get the results of all the three from only one statistical technique, that is two-way ANOVA. But if you write it separately, then dear friends, it will give a very different picture. So this is very important point. You should note it down. So like this, if you want to have still the more, you can write more objectives. But if you want to do a quantitative research, my suggestion is you should know the different statistical technique very well, and you must know how to write the wording, how to write the objective if you want to analyze the data with the help of a particular statistical technique. So that is very important. Now, if you want, you can write something like this also. Your fourth can be to compare adjusted means course of adjustment of male and female teachers by considering their stress as covariate. Now, if this is my objective, then here I can analyze the data with the help of which is called one-way ANCOVA. So that means I can write the objectives where I can use the different statistical techniques. But here I cannot use correlation. The correlation I cannot use because this is the title where it's only the comparison you can do because I have written only one variable there. Now, if suppose, so like this, there can be many other objectives. If you want, you can write. Absolutely no problem. Any question you want to ask up to here? Any question you want to ask? Let me take another title. If I take a title like this, a study of adjustment in relation to anxiety and stress of teachers of private colleges of Delhi. Now, in this particular one, you see I have the three variable. One variable is adjustment, another is anxiety, and another is stress. So I have to study the relationship between adjustment and anxiety, adjustment and stress. I cannot study the relationship between anxiety and stress. No. If I write something like this, a study of relationship among now, if this is the title, then here, of course, I can study the correlation between adjustment anxiety, adjustment and stress and anxiety. These are the combinations I can have. But in the upper one, I cannot have that combination. No, Ram Babu, I cannot explain you the techniques. For that, you have to attend another webinar on statistical techniques. No, Navita, if you are in an experimental study, you cannot use both comparison and relationship. No, you cannot. It's not possible. I have given you the, if you want a title of experimental study, then you can say like this. a study of effect of concept attainment model on achievement in mathematics concepts, a study of effect of concept attainment model on achievement in mathematics concept. Of class 10 students of, of government senior secondary schools of Udaipur. Now here you cannot do the correlation. It is not possible because you have the effect. So because of this effect, you cannot have a correlation here. So it is not possible to write the title of experimental where you compare as well as you study the relationship. No, you cannot do it. I hope you have understood it. You can only compare. That is correct. Comparison you can do, no problem at all. Because it is an experimental study, so it is up to you which design you are using. So that is also important. Pre and post test, then you can use the ANCOVA, adjusted mean. You can compare the adjusted mean for whatever is your variable with respect to the pre of that. Okay. Now, as I have written here also, you see this one. This I have written for the covariate. So you can take your pre, if it is achievement, then pre-achievement will be your covariate. And you will compare the adjusted mean scores of achievement by considering the pre-achievement as covariate. That's all. That's what you can write. Okay. Now, if suppose I have this as my title, so should I take this title or should I take this title? Should I take the relationship among, or should I say a study of adjustment in the relationship? Which one do you want? Okay. If you want this, then you can write objective like this. One objective can be to study the correlation between between adjustment and anxiety of teachers. You can study the correlation between adjustment and stress of teachers. You can study, you can have objective like this also. To study correlation between adjustment and anxiety of male and female teachers separately. To study the correlation between adjustment and stress of male and female teachers separately. Like this, you can write many others. You can also write like this. To study the correlation between adjustment and stress of teachers by to study the correlation between adjustment and anxiety of teachers by parceling out the effect of stress. And if here you have to use partial correlation. By parceling out the effect of anxiety. Here also you have to use the partial correlation. If you want, you can write like this also. To study joint contribution of anxiety and stress in predicting adjustment of teachers. If this is your, then here you have to write multiple correlation. So like this, if you want to write the title where you want to study the relationship, you can write, and then you can write your objective the way you want. If you only have the two variables, suppose you want to have something like this. Here I have taken 3 variables. If you want, you can have 2 variables, no problem. And you can write many objectives. Absolutely no problem. Is it clear now? Number 7, no, here it is a multiple correlation technique, not regression. But if you are using SPSS, in SPSS, they do not have the separate program for computing the multiple correlation. In SPSS, multiple correlation is a part of the regression analysis. If you want regression analysis, it has to be like this. To study individual contribution of this, here you have to use regression analysis. And especially you have to calculate beta coefficient. If you want, you can write like this also. To establish regression equation for predicting adjustment on the basis of anxiety and stress of teachers. Here also you are using the regression analysis. So the objective number 7, objective number 8, and objective number 9, you will get the result when in SPSS you are using regression analysis. All 3 results you will get, and you can use any one you like. Okay, so this is how you can write your title and you can write your objective. Any question you want to ask, then I am proceeding further. I have given you how to write the title for qualitative research as well as quantitative research. I have given you title how to write the title for experimental research and for survey research. I have also written the objectives. Any question you want to ask, then I am proceeding further. In the steps of research, I have completed identification of problem. And now I am going to the another one. Formulation of hypothesis. Now, any question you want to ask, otherwise I am going ahead with the formulation of hypothesis. I'm waiting for your question. No question? All right. So let me say, okay, I'm proceeding further. The hypothesis. I think I have already given you the hypothesis, the definition. So we must understand the hypothesis. you must know the definition. And the definition is, hypothesis is the tentative solution of the problem. Another is, so it's not the final solution. It is the tentative solution. Another can be that hypothesis is the intelligent guess about the solution of the problem. So it is not a guess, but it is an intelligent guess. Dr. Pani, please do not jump. For your kind information, please do not jump, wait. When I come to the sampling topic, then I will explain you. And then another is, hypothesis is the conjectural statement about the relationship between variables. Please understand, it is between variables, it's not among variables. I hope you know the difference between among and between. Between means only two variables. Among means more than two. Now from all these, you know that all these are not final. So hypothesis, when you are formulating, it is not the final solution. Okay. Say, I'll give you example. From your institute, when you go home, I have been giving this example and it's from daily life. Now you find that there is no lock on the door. And the moment you see that lock is not there, then what comes to your mind? That some family member might have come before you and he or she might have opened the lock. Another can be the person who went on the last, forgot to lock. Another can be somebody has broken the lock and there might have been theft. So these ideas will come to your mind. All these are the tentative solution of this particular problem. They are not the final one. Now, when we go to the doctor examines the patient, and then doctor may tell to the patient that most probably you are having this problem or you are suffering from this disease. So he may tell him that you start taking this medicine, but go to the pathology lab to get your blood test done. So he may ask the blood test report. Why is he asking? Because the doctor wants to be sure that this patient is suffering from this problem. You know, in COVID-19, anyone who got infected, it was confirmed only after the blood is tested. Without testing the blood, it was not confirmed. And many of the people, their report was negative. And for some, it was a positive report. So therefore, you think, and then you have to test it to confirm it. Now, when you go inside your home, you open the door and you find, yes, your brother is there. So you say, oh, you have come. Yes. So that means now theft has not taken place because your brother is there. So therefore, it is not that you did not lock. So all those two options are out, and therefore one is there that someone has come. Okay. So therefore, when you have the tentative solution, it is you have to test it. And in science, you can do the testing on the basis of, you can do testing in labs, but in social science, you cannot do the testing in the labs. You use statistical technique. And if you want to use a statistical technique, you must have quantitative data. Now listen carefully. In your research, if you have the quantitative data, then it can be analyzed with the help of a statistical technique, and then you can test the hypothesis, and you must formulate the hypothesis. I repeat, if you have a quantitative data which can be analyzed with the help of the statistical technique, then you can test the hypothesis and you must formulate the hypothesis. But if you have qualitative data which cannot be analyzed with the help of a statistical technique, then you cannot test the hypothesis, then you should not formulate the hypothesis. I repeat, if you have a qualitative data which cannot be tested with, which cannot be analyzed with the help of a statistical technique, then you cannot test the hypothesis, and then you should not formulate the hypothesis. The third sentence, if you have a qualitative data which can be converted into quantitative, which can be analyzed with the help of a statistical technique, then you can test the hypothesis and you should formulate the hypothesis. So therefore, hypothesis can be formulated in correlational survey research as well as experimental research. But hypothesis cannot be formulated in philosophical research, historical research, descriptive survey research, and case study research. Or you also say it cannot be formulated in qualitative research. So this is important. So you cannot have hypothesis whenever you are conducting a philosophical or a historical or a descriptive survey. Not correlational survey. Correlational survey, you have the quantitative data. Okay, so any question you want to ask, I'm closing it here. And then tomorrow I will pick it up from here. Any question you want to ask before I say bye-bye to you? Okay, thank you very much.